We are set to go for Game 2 of the finals. Can the London Lightning even up this series, or will Halifax get another home win where they have been so tough to beat? 5-1 in the playoffs, 15-6 in the regular season, and a 13-point win in Game 1. London trying to bounce back after their 4th loss in these playoffs. Good evening, everyone. Vince Williams on hand, along with the Silver Vision crew for Game 2. Scotiabank Center ready. It's loud for Game 2. And the starting lineups, once again, the same as Game 1 for both teams. So the Hurricanes trying to go up 2-0 before this series will switch and shift to London, Ontario for Games 3 and 4, and if necessary, for Games 5, and if necessary, come back here to Scotiabank Center for Games 6 and 7. The crowd is ready. The teams are ready. Game 2, starting now. Bolden controls the tap for the Bolts. Williamson, he gets to the rim, but it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Watson, and it will remain London's possession. Herring Jr. will inbound on the baseline. He had an outstanding game, number 1 for London. Bolden with the drive and spin move with the right hand. A good start and an aggressive take to the rim by Mo Bolden. Quinn Scales. Watson now, shot clock under 5. Baseline Watson, and he's pushed out of bounds. Gets bumped, no call coming though, and that's a turnover for the Hurricanes. Canes only turned the ball over 7 times in game number 1 compared to 11 for the Bolts. Bolden, spin move, and he's called for too many steps. Didn't put it down before he put the ball on the deck. So that's London's first turnover. Both teams exchanged in turnovers. Tonight's officials: Brian States, Ryan Lutz, and the crew chief, Paul Hansen. Clint Scales off the pick and roll. Watson, jumper, that's no good. And Tyrone Watson trying to get that jump shot going early here in game number 2, but he was outstanding in game 1. So he put up 29 points and 12 rebounds for the Hurricanes. Boyd's three's no good. Boyd's and also another high performer in game number 1 as well, as he put up 17 and 13 for the Bolts. Brown trying to back down Williamson, and he gets that one to go. Williamson had to give up too much space to Brown. Bolden shot's no good. Williamson had the rebound, lost the handle, was stolen by Watson, and Watson stepped on the end line. And the ball will go over to the Lightning. Early going here, 2-2. Both teams still trying to feel each other out in game number 2. Anderson trying to back down Mason, and he turns it over behind the back, and coming back the other way are the Hurricanes. Watson, and he gets to the rim, and he draws the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So So an errant behind the back pass after he was doubled by Anderson. As you can take a look here in transition, Boyd with the bump. And that's Julian's first, team's first. Watson knocks down the first of two. Tyrone playing at a very high level throughout these playoffs. Came into the finals averaging 19 points a game through the playoffs and put up 29 big ones in game one as he knocks down both. And another turnover, that's turnover number 3. Mason comes back the other way. And London still trying to find their way. Uncharacteristically are turning the basketball over early in game number 2, something that they didn't do in game number 1, even though they ended with 11 turnovers, but they did take care of the basketball in the first frame. Mason gets to the rim and he is denied by Bolden. Back the other way is Herring Jr. Herring Jr. now to Williamson, and Williamson gets it to go. We're all tied up at 4. White, the isolation. Herring Jr. with the threat of the double. Rotate it to Watson, spin move. Watson up and under, he can't get it to go. And back the other way come the London Lightning. And Boyd, that shot is short at the rim. And Boyd's 0 for 2. Clint Scales, right hand, he banks that one in. Good take in transition by Clint Scales, waiting for the defense to open up in transition. They had numbers, and Clint Scales puts home his first 2. Bolden now. Kick out to Herring Jr. He gets to the rim and he banks it in. So a good take by Herring Jr., who went 10 for 14 from the field. He was outstanding. He came close to a triple-double with 7 rebounds and 9 assists. Mason, that jumper's no good. Anderson off the pick and roll. Back to Bolden. Bolden inside. He hands it off to Boyd. He's tied up, but a foul call on Watson. And that'll be Tyrone's first. Seeing the replay here. Boyd lost the handle, and see the reach over there by Watson. That seems to be the right call. That's Watson's first, team's first. As Kirk Williams Jr. checks in for the first time for the Lightning. Herring Jr. now. Shot clock under 5, and he draws the foul on White, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that'll be Billy White's first. Team second. Doug Herring Jr. steps to the line for the first time this evening. And he misses the first. If there's anything that needs improvement in game number 2 for London, it will definitely be the free throw shooting. 23 trips to the charity stripe in game 1, and they went 13 for 23, and that's at 56%. And you can't win basketball games on the road, especially in the finals, versus a team that does very well at home. Teardrop's good, nice floater. And a nice find by Brown to Watson, and that's more like it for Watson. Inside the paint, he gets it done. Bolden now, right hand, that's short. Good defensive play there by Ramel Brown. Clint Scales. Watson's knocked to the floor by Anderson, no call. Mason spins. That's a tough jump shot, and that's no good. It misses everything, and rebound by Anderson. Williamson now back the other way. Williamson inside, and Williamson gets it to go. And Garrett is 2 for 3 now. He's got 4. Clint Scales' jumper's no good. Second chance coming up. Clint Scales gets into the body of Anderson. Mason to Brown, and Brown throws it away. He tried to hit a cutting Watson, and that's turnover number 2 for the Hurricanes. Kane shooting 3 of 9 from the field. London 4 of 9, so both teams not really lightening up from field goal range. Bolding's jumper is no good. That fadeaway jump shot. Now they're 4 of 10 from the field. Watson with the entry, trying to go one-on-one against Williamson, trying to back him down. He dishes to White. White kicks it right back out. Clint Scales now. Mason puts up the 3, and that's no good. So Mason off to a slow start. Mason's 0 for 3 from the field. Anderson's 3 balls no good. London are 0 for 2 from downtown. Both teams continuing the struggle from the field and find their range here in game number 2. And it looks like Antoine Mason will be called for his first personal off the ball. He's called for the hold. And we'll have a timeout on the floor. Mason got tied up with Anderson. So leading the way for London is Garrett Williamson with 4. He's 2 for 3 from the field, and Watson's got 4 for the Hurricanes. 1 of 3, but he's 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Both teams, as I mentioned, struggling from the field. Kane shooting 30%, 3 of 10, and London 4 of 11. That's at a 36% clip. Both teams still trying to find their range from beyond the arc. 0 for 2, as they both made trips to the free throw line once. London unable to knock down both. Hurricanes are 2 for 2. So pretty much even here for game number 2. Good crowd on hand at Scotiabank Center. Hurricanes trying to go up 2 games to none. This series will shift back in an unconventional finals where games 3, 4, and 5 will be played in London. So some final instructions by Mike Leslie and Keith Bassel. Seeing the replay there, Tyrone Watson getting that floater to go. 2 of 4 points on the evening thus far for Watson. Under the timeout, London will go with Boyd, Herring Jr., Anderson, Williams Jr., and Williamson. Williams Jr. now gets inside and he banks it in. Nice looking take to the rim by Kirk Williams Jr. He didn't have a bad game himself off the bench, putting up 14 in game number 1. Brown tried to find Mason, and that's turned over. Good defensive play by Anderson. But Williamson gets it knocked away from that errant pass, goes by the wayside in transition with numbers. Mason to Brown. Brown tried to bank it in, it was no good. And London will come back the other way. Williamson to Williams Jr. for 3, no good. Anderson with the rebound. Second chance coming up. London 0 for 3 from downtown as Williams Jr. knocks Mason to the floor. And Williams Jr. will be called for his first personal. Team's third. Kyle Johnson checks in for the first time for the Bolts this evening. Mike Poole also checks in after the timeout for the Hurricanes. Mason pull up fadeaway jumper and can't get it to go. Mason's 0 for 4 now. Herring Jr. on the lob to Boyd, that's denied by Brown. Canes back the other way. Watson banks it home. So great defensive play down at one end, and in the transition, Watson the beneficiary, and a turnover by Herring Jr. Turnover number 5 for the Bolts. Watson, that jump shot short at the rim. Anderson with the rebound, but he's tied up by Watson. As Anderson hits the deck. But that's a good tie-up by Tyrone, as the possession arrow will favor the Hurricanes. I'm not sure where Ryan Anderson and Kirk Williams Jr. are going, but they're heading the other way. As that was a great defensive play by Tyrone Watson to tie up Anderson. As you can see in the replay, that good run out by Watson on the previous trip down. Off the defensive play by Ramel Brown. Watson now trying to back down Williamson. That's kicked out, and Johnson jumps in front of that pass. And Mike Poole's called for his first personal. Hurricanes 4th. You can see in the replay there, Poole trying to step in front of Johnson. Deny that transition opportunity. Herring Jr. now across the timeline. Taquan Zimmerman is in for the Canes as Anderson gets the floater to go. And it's a 2-point lead for the Lightning. Cutting scales. Zimmerman, shot clock under 5. Poole's got to hurry. He puts it up for 3. No good. And Ramel Brown goes over the back of Julian Boyd. And Ramel will be called for his first. Hurricanes 0 for 3 from downtown, along with the Lightning, still in search of their 3 ball. Williams Jr. Boyd, he'll put it up for 3, and he knocks it down. So there it is, the first 3 of the evening for either side. And that forces the timeout call by Mike Leslie, and he wants to talk it over after London goes up by 5 coming out of that timeout. So Boyd knocks down the first triple of the evening. And his first points as well. He's 1 for 4 from the field. Tyrone Watson leads all scorers with 6. 2 for 5 from the field is Watson. Both teams having problems in the first frame with turnovers. 4 apiece. Points off of turnovers though, haven't hurt either squad, as they both got 2. Good crowd on hand for game 2. Just like to welcome in all the viewers out there that are tuning in for game 2. Vince Williams on hand here with the Silver Vision crew, and welcome the many fans in London, Ontario tuning in for this game, and the fans around the world as well, as the Hurricane faithful out there that are unable to attend. Special hello to Jim and Don Mills who are tuning in as well. So out of the timeout here, Hurricanes trying to stop this 7-2 run by the Bolts. And Watson can't get the shot to go, and it was closely contested. Good ball movement, but unable to convert. Johnson puts up the three, no good. Rebound by Boyd. And another second chance opportunity for London. Anderson trying to spin on Clinkscales. That's partially blocked. Good defensive play there by Klink. Zimmerman now. To Brown, back out to Zimmerman. And they'll reset. Try to get into a half-court set. Zimmerman knocks down the three, and that's the first of the evening for the Hurricanes. London tried to disguise the 3-2 matchup zone, but Zimmerman was able to find the space and good ball movement by the Hurricanes. So it's a 2-point game now. Friesen Laddie, that rattles in and out from downtown. Zimmerman again, and it's too strong. Rebound by Poole, last touch by Poole. You try to save it on the end line. Zimmerman had a good look in transition, just unable to knock down consecutive threes. As White and Kahn will come in along with Dixon for the Hurricanes. Two-point lead for the Lightning. Anderson to Johnson. Johnson with the left hand off the window, no good. Canes come back the other way. White trying to step into the three. Zimmerman once again with a good look, and he knocks it down. Taekwon 2 for 3 from downtown late in this first quarter, and the Canes take the lead by 1. A scramble and bodies hitting the floor, and great hustle by Ashton Kahn to come up with that loose ball. As he's all fired up, and that brings the Hurricane faithful to their feet. And a timeout on the floor called by the Lightning. So the Canes on a 6-0 run coming out of that timeout. A good looking three after great ball movement. It's Taekwon Zimmerman, the beneficiary of that great ball movement. Keith Vassell looked like he gambled coming out of that timeout after going on that 5-0 run, going into that 3-2 matchup zone. Taekwon Zimmerman was able to knock down 2 of 3 three-pointers. That forces the timeout on the floor and the conversation. Canes now 2 of 6 from downtown. London 1 of 6 from downtown, shooting 31% of the Hurricanes. And London slightly better at 33%. Garrett Williamson continues to lead the way for London with 4 points. Tyrone Watson with 6, along with Taekwon Zimmerman with 6. 1-point lead for the Canes. It's been a closely guarded, I would say. I don't know if you want to say if it's a struggle of offense or a great defense, but a low-scoring first quarter with just under 30 seconds to go. Johnson, he pushes off Zimmerman. Great defensive positioning for Taekwon. Forces Kyle to try to gain some space with the offhand. And that's Kyle's first, team's 4th. Hurricanes will hold for a last shot here. White, left hand floater, it's good. Billy able to get that one to go inside the paint. Herring Jr. puts up the three, and that is short, and that'll do it. 12 minutes in the books, the Hurricanes up by 3. And they went on an 8-0 run after surrendering their own 5-0 run. So they finished the quarter strong, and they lead after 12 minutes, up by 3 here. Take a quick look at the numbers after 12 minutes. Hurricanes shooting 35% from the field, 7 of 20. The Lightning, 31%, 7 of 22. Both teams trying to turn the tide here from downtown. London 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Hurricanes 2 of 6. Zimmerman with both of them. Boyd with the single 3 for the Bolts. Turnovers are pretty much even at 4. And the points off of turnovers remain at 2. Hurricanes with 4 fast break points. And both teams with 10 points each inside the paint. So we're just about set here to start quarter number 2. In game number 2, Hurricanes with a 119-106 victory in game number 1. Tyrone Watson and Billy White leading the way with 29 points apiece respectively. Watson with 12 rebounds, White with 11. Antoine Mason also with an outstanding game number 1, 25 points and 5 assists. And down the stretch, Cliff Clinkscales was big with 16 points and 6 assists. So Hurricanes will start with possession here in the second. Canes will go with White, Kahn, Dixon, Poole, and Zimmerman. For the Bolts, it's Friesen, Laddie, Bolden, Boyd, Herring Jr., and Williamson. White trying to back down Bolden. And White's call for too many steps. So White tried to assert himself on the isolation. And that's turnover number 5 for the Hurricanes. Friesen Laddie, isolation one-on-one against Zimmerman. Left hand, and he gets it to go. And that's Joel's first points of the finals. He struggled in game number 1 with his offense. Turnover again by the Hurricanes. Bolden in transition. Can't get the tough shot to go off the glass, and it looks like it was last touch by London. And a conference between Ryan Lutz and the crew chief Paul Hansen, and they reversed the call. Kahn now, he crosses the timeline, closely guarded by Friesen Laddie. White, shot clock under 5. White's got to hurry. Step back, tough shot forced by Bolden, and Billy can't get it to go down. Bolden back the other way in transition, and Bolden off the glass, no good, but the putback's there. So Mo Bolden looking to be more aggressive in game number 2 offensively. And Mo's 2 for 7 from the field. He's got 4 now. And a foul off the ball and a push. It looks like it's on Billy White. That's his second, team's first. Bolden inside, Bolden off the glass, no good, gets his own rebound. Bolden right back up, and that's rejected from behind by Poole. And in transition, Friesen Laddie fouls White. That's a good foul by Joel, as the Hurricanes had numbers back the other way off the block shot of Mike Poole. And that's Friesen Laddie's first, team's first. Hurricanes looking for their first points here in the second quarter. And White's call for too many steps as he tried to go to work on Julian Boyd. So Canes off to a slow start here in quarter number 2. And that's turnover number 3 in the quarter. Bolden thought about it. Drives on the smaller man, Kahn gets it knocked away. Williamson with the pump fake, and he banks it home on the reversal. Kahn, left hand, no good. Bolden for 3, and he knocks it down. Mo Bolden lines it up and knocks down his first triple of the evening. Zimmerman tries to answer, and he rattles that one home. So they finally break out that 9-0 run by the Bolts. Boyd with a beautiful floater from behind the free throw line. And it's a 5-point game for London. Poole now. Poole drives, gets inside, and he banks that one in. Nice looking take by Mike Poole off the ball reversal as he was able to split the defense and convert. One possession game. Aaron Jr. one-on-one against Kahn. He gets it knocked away, and it's last touch by Zimmerman. And the ball will remain with the Lightning with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Mason comes in for the Canes along with Watson, as Anderson will come in for the Lightning. Mason knocks that one out of bounds. Aaron Jr. looked like he was looking for the foul as he tried to rip through the contact. And it will be 2 seconds on the shot clock now. Boyd will inbound on the baseline. And Boyd throws that one away as Anderson was unable to elude the denial defense of Tyrone Watson. So that's turnover number 5 for the Lightning. Watson will inbound for the Canes. 3-point game. London in the lead. Poole off the pick and roll. Poole with the tough shot. Can't get it to fall. Rebound by Boyd. Bolden, baseline. He drives hard to the cup, and he is fouled by Dixon. And Mo Bolden will go to the line to shoot 2. Ronaldo's first, as Brown will check in for Dixon. As Mo Bolden will go to the line and for the first time this evening. And he misses the first. Bolden, very active offensively for London in this first half. He's 3 for 10 from the field. He's got 7 so far. And I'm not sure what the confusion is, as it looks like they're jockeying for positioning here, both teams, trying to make sure they got the right matchup. As Mo goes 1 for 2. He's got 8 now. Poole off the screen, inside to Watson. Watson can't get the reversal to go. Poole trying to jump into front of that pass, knocks it out of bounds, and it will still remain Bolt's possession. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Aaron Jr. looking for the screen. Bolden now faces up Brown. Bolden spins in the lane. That's knocked out of bounds by Brown. So London continuing to go inside the Mo Bolden. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Anderson forces up the 3. That's too strong off the iron. And rebound by Brown. Canes will come back the other way, trailing by 4. Mason, he'll put it up for 3. That's no good. Mason gets it back on the tap back. Second chance through the contact. He can't get it to go, though. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Mason off to a very slow start. Unaccustomed slow start for Mason, as he's 0 for 6 from the field. 0 for 3 from downtown, but he makes his first trip to the free throw line as Clint Scales comes back for the Hurricanes. Mason rattles home the first. Mason coming into the finals playing at a very high level. 23 points he averaged in the Atlantic Division Championship. As he rattles home the second. Tough start for Antoine. The Auburn University product by way of Queens, New York. Bolden again inside, can't get the first one to go. The second one is denied by Brown, and out of frustration, Bolden knocks Brown in the back, and he's called for the personal. So Bolden had a good look on the first opportunity, couldn't get it to fall. Got the second chance, as you can see, got it rejected by Brown. And then the two-handed push, he pushes Brown almost in the first row there on the baseline. So some frustration by Bolden. Zimmerman can't get the 3 ball to go. Brown with the rebound, second chance coming up. Hurricanes looking to cash in here. Mason off the screen, splits the defense. Mason banks it in. Outstanding dribble drive to the cup by Mason, as he was able to get between 2 defenders off of the screen by Brown. That might get Mason going now. Bolden again, and he is denied again in back-to-back possessions by Ramel Brown. Ramel returns the sender, as Bolden is having a very tough time now getting space away from Ramel Brown. Conversation between Keith Vassell and the crew chief, Paul Hansen. Keith probably thought that Bolden might have got fouled on there, but a timeout on the floor. We all tied up at 27 apiece. Ramel Brown stepping up defensively and denying Mo Bolden opportunities in Titus. Bolden's 3 for 14 now. but he leads the way with 8 points. Taquan Zimmerman leads the way for the Hurricanes with 9. Taquan 3 for 5 from downtown. He struggled in game number 1, but thus far he's been good. Finished tonight with 1 point, 6 rebounds in 22 minutes in game number 1. The Hurricanes shooting 35% from the field. London 33. So both teams not really lighting it up. It's a low-scoring game in quarter number 2 with 5:33 remaining. Definitely been a defensive battle. The last 2 possessions were not an example of that defensive battle. I don't know what is. It's Ramel Brown denying Mo Bolden on consecutive trips inside the painted area. So coming out of the timeout, Hurricanes going with Watson, Zimmerman, Brown, Clinkscales, and Mason. For London, it's Williams Jr., Johnson, Herring Jr., Anderson, and making his first appearance in these finals is Dellenberg. Watson, kick out to Zimmerman. Zimmerman forces it up, and he almost gets that one to drop. Was looking for the contact, didn't get it. Anderson, he'll put it up for 3. That's too strong. And the struggles continue from downtown for the Bolts. Clinkscales, he gets his pass turned over. And here comes Johnson now for London. Dellenberg. Dellenberg. Tough shot forced by Ramel Brown as Dellenberg tried to avoid Brown. And Watson banks it home the other way. Watson once again beating London up the floor. And he did that at a frequent pace in game number 1. 2-point game for the Canes. And a foul, and it's called on Antoine Mason as he runs into Dellenberg to try to set the screen. And it was before the shot attempt, says Paul Hansen, the crew chief, so no basket on the play. Mason called for his first personal, team's third. Poole will come in for Mason. There's correction on fouls, personal fouls on Mason. It's his second. Dellenberg, he's tied up by Watson, but it's last touch by Watson. Eight seconds on the shot clock. As Herring Jr. will inbound on the baseline. Williams Jr. puts it up for 3, and that's short. Rebound by Poole. Brown, kick out to Zimmerman. Clinkscales for 3, that's a long 3, and he rattles it down. Clinkscales' first 3 ball of the evening. Hurricanes 4 of 11 now from beyond the arc. Herring Jr. One-on-one against Poole, floater, and he gets it to go down. Back to a 3-point game. Zimmerman again knocks it down from beyond the arc from the same spot on the floor. Zimmerman, 4 for 6 from beyond the arc now. Anderson with the tough jumper, no good. Clinkscales in transition. Zimmerman pulls up, Johnson runs him off the line, but once again, and banking it home behind the defense in transition is Tyrone Watson. And that brings the Hurricane faithful to their feet as the Canes have their largest lead at 8. So Keith Vassell wants to talk it over here with 2:50 remaining in the second. Canes starting to catch their stride offensively as both teams struggled midway through the second quarter to find their shooting range. Canes field goal percentage moves up at 41% now. London's at 32. Canes 5 of 12 from downtown. London 2 of 11. Taquan Zimmerman playing outstanding off the bench. As I mentioned, he struggled in that game number 1. And then ended the night with just 1 point in 22 minutes, but he's got 12 in the first half thus far. 4 for 6 from beyond the arc, and he has sparked an 8-0 run by the Hurricanes. Herring Jr. now. Williams Jr. for 3, he can't get it to fall. Second chance coming up though for London. Boyd, he'll try his hand for 3 and he knocks it down. If there's anybody that's consistent this evening from beyond the arc, it's Julian Boyd. He's 2 for 3, he's got 8 now. London really needed that one to go down as Boyd are able to provide it. Watson spins, can't get the shot to go off the glass. Herring Jr. now. Isolation one-on-one against Brown. And he'll try to go to work here. Good defensive footwork by Brown, denying him, and Brown rejects it. And Brown again forces the tough shot by Boyd. Remel Brown defensively, single-handedly, is guarding that rim. Great rim protection by Remel Brown, but more than that, he's been outstanding with that one-on-one defensive prowess. But Boyd knocks down the 3. Julian Boyd was getting it done inside the paint in game number 1, but he has put his game on the outside from beyond the arc, and he's knocked down 3. He's 3 of 4, he's got 11. He's 4 of 8 from the field, and 3 of them have been from beyond the arc, and it's a 2-point game now. So a 6-0 run coming out of that timeout for the Lightning. Clinkscales turns it over. Johnson steps in front of that, and Johnson throws it down with 2 hands. Great job by Johnson stepping into that pass and going the length of the court with the 2-handed flush. 8-0 run now for London. Clinkscales gets inside the paint. That's a foul call. That's on Boyd. That's his 3rd, so decision time coming up for Keith Vassell as Boyd picks up his 3rd personal on that shot attempt by Brown. with 53.9 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Brown hits the first, and that's a good sign for Ramel. Ramel struggled in game number 1 from the charity stripe, going 1 for 7. And he knocks down both. Good looking stroke there on the second attempt by Brown. 2-point game, 53.9 remaining in this second quarter. Williams Jr., right hand, and he banks it in. So he was able to get it over, up and over. Ramel Brown, who's been tough with great rim protection in this second quarter. Watson trying to force his way inside. Linkscale solves the double to Brown now. Brown, floater, and he gets it to go. Soft touch around the rim there, displayed by Brown. Herring Jr. though, trying to beat the shot clock, and he banks it in. Right at the gun, Herring Jr. banks it in and ties it up at 41 apiece. So after 24 minutes, we are all tied up here at Scotiabank Center in game number 2. The Lightning responding in the last minute and a half after the Hurricanes took their largest lead at 8. We are tied up at 41-41. So leading the way for...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to halftime, where it's now time for a little celebrity name game challenge between Dwight and Kevin. I think we're playing.
back to Halifax for game 2 of the finals. Hurricanes, Bolts tied at 41 after 24 minutes. Julian Boyd leading the way for the Bolts as he turns it over to start this third quarter. Vince Williams on hand and the Silver Vision crew for Halifax Hurricanes basketball here at Scotiabank Center. And it's a different type of game than game number 1, and Romel Brown throws it down to get this third quarter started in their first possession. So great ball movement by the Hurricanes as Romel was outstanding. See White, great touch pass, no look pass by Watson as he was able to draw the double, and Romel Brown moving without the basketball with the flush. Brown now, he's called for the offensive foul though. Williamson sets him up as Brown bumps him, and Williams falls through the floor like a ton of bricks, but it works out for Williamson. Brown second, teams first. Bolden now, and he tried to hand it off in tight to Boyd. Boyd can't handle the pass. Bolden was very active in the first half offensively. 3 of 14 was Mo. As Watson drives and he's fouled, he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Watson a little frustrated here. Garrett Williamson called for his first, team's first. As Watson gets set to shoot 2 here. Watson second trip to the free throw line. Watson first half with 10 points and 7 rebounds. A very productive first 24 minutes for Tyrone, who was outstanding in game number 1 with 29 points. He finished with 12 rebounds. 4 of those 12 rebounds, offensive rebounds, as he completes the three-point play. Excuse me, he knocks down both of the free throws. The 3 ball, though, is down from downtown again by Julian Boyd, who is 4 for 5 from beyond the arc. He's got 14. He was outstanding from that distance, despite the struggles by his other teammates. Herring Jr. now, back the other way. He is fouled on the drive by Mason. And that's Antoine's 3rd. Antoine had his struggles in the first half, going 1 for 7 from the field and ended up with 4 points and 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Herring Jr. knocks down the first and his second trip to the free throw line. And Doug knocks down both. Doug was outstanding in game number 1 as well. 26 points, 10 for 14 from the field, 7 rebounds and 9 assists in a losing effort, 119 to 106. Mason forces his way through to the rim and he's called for the charge, and that'll be foul number 4. Mason had his foul troubles in game number 1, despite scoring 25 points and ending up with 5 assists. He fouled out in that game number 1. So an opportunity here for London, leading by 1 with the Hurricanes' top scorer in the regular season and throughout the playoffs, Antoine Mason, pretty much should be done for the rest of this quarter. Anderson spins inside. Anderson can't get it to go. Rebound is picked up by Poole. And we have a stoppage in play here. And it looks like we might have a foul call as a long and lengthy animated conversation ensues between Ryan Lutz and Billy White. So I'm not sure what the confusion is here. Maybe an errant whistle. As you can see with Anderson try to get to the cup. A great defensive play by Clint Scales, getting his hand and knock it away. Nevertheless, possession will stay with the Hurricanes. Clint Scales trying to shake off something that's ailing him, and he might have taken an errant hand to the face by Anderson after stripping him. White puts it up for 3 and he knocks it down. Billy White was on target in game number 1, and he is on target in game number 2 with his first attempt. Excuse me, his second attempt from downtown. Billy's got 5. Billy's got to get going along with Watson now. foul called on Watson. That's his second, team's fourth. As Garrett Williamson will go to the line to shoot two. It's be Garrett's first trip to the free throw line. So lots of fouls called on both teams as the pace kind of stagnant right now between these two teams. Poole, and he knocks down the three. Poole with a good look from beyond the arc. Poole coming off the bench in game one with 11 points and 5 rebounds in 23 minutes and too many steps. Turnover call on London, and that's turnover number 7. And Billy White banks that one in. Billy starting to come on offensively. Four-point game for the Hurricanes. Their largest lead has been 8. Anderson, a tough shot forced by Poole. Boyd can't handle the rebound. And it will be Hurricane ball. Clint Scales. Entry to Brown. Brown matched up on Williamson. Back out to Poole. Poole fires a three. It's no good. Rebound saved by Watson. Clint Scales kicks it out to Poole. Poole with the pull-up off the bank and no good. Williamson in transition. To Bolden. Anderson off the screen to Williamson, and he throws it down. Garrett Williamson off the backdoor cut, and a good looking pass off the bounce though by Anderson to Williamson, and he throws it down with 2 hands. Two-point game now. Watson almost turns it over. White, pull up, knocks it down, beats the shot clock. Outstanding play by Billy White with the pump fake on the defender and gains some space, takes that dribble to his left and knocks down the jumper. Billy's got 8 now. And Anderson looks like he's in a lot of physical pain as he makes his way towards the locker room. Let's hope that Ryan Anderson is okay. Johnson will come in for Anderson as he looks like he's in a lot of physical difficulty. As he limps off the court, it might be a lower body injury. It seems that way as he was limping. Three ball. It's no good by Williams Jr. And the three back the other way by Poole. That's too strong. Rebound by Williams Jr. Four-point lead for the Hurricanes. Williams Jr. on the entry. Draws the double, turns it over. Watson in transition. Canes have numbers. Watson banks it home. And Tyrone Watson continuing to be very good in transition. And count it for Herring Jr. through the contact as he answers the other way. Watson called for his third personal. As you can see in the replay, Watson did an outstanding job with the ball fake, but back the other way, Herring Jr. didn't waste any time as he was able to split the defense. And Watson's called for his third personal as we have a timeout on the floor. It's a 4-point game for the Hurricanes with 5:33 remaining here in the third. Hurricanes continuing the shoot.
Folks, it's time now for the Ramel Brown Dance Cam. Let's see your moves, and the winner will receive a Get Back t-shirt signed by Ramel.
Both teams right around their season average from beyond the arc. 6 of 15.
Let's see those moves.
At 40%. For the London Lightning, 5 of 6.
Now don't be shy, we're looking good.
1%.
Making it rain. It's Snow Neck McGurk.
Julian Boyd leading the way in scoring for the Bolts with 14. He's 5 of 9 from the field, 4 of 5 from downtown. He's been absolutely terrific.
That's the winner right there. It's you, son. It's you. Congratulations. You won a Get Back t-shirt signed by Ramel Brown.
5 of 12.
And you can pick it up at the merchandise booth.
Zimmerman with 12. He's 4 for 6 from beyond the arc. So both teams with their final instructions. Herring Jr. will go to the line to attempt to complete the three-point play. Doug's 4 for 7 from the field. He's got 10 points with 7 rebounds. And he can't rattle home that free throw attempt. So it will remain a 4-point lead for the Hurricanes. Watson, right hand, and he gets it to go, and Watson continuing to play at a high level. He's got 16. Johnson now. Off the pick and roll. Williamson, skip past the Herring Jr. Tough shot forced by Poole, and that's off the side of the backboard, but last touch by Poole. And it will remain Lightning possession with 3 seconds remaining on the shot clock as Herring Jr. will inbound on the baseline. Buber is raining down at Scotiabank here, but they turn it over on the inbound. Clint Scales. White, tough pass on the baseline. Tried to hit a cut, and Mike Poole, he couldn't handle that bounce pass. Hurricanes turn it over, and that's number 10 on the evening. Williamson gets to the rim. That's rejected, but a foul on the play. And Williamson will go to the line to shoot 2. Watson looked like he had good positioning there. He's called for his 4th personal. So more decisions coming up for Mike Leslie as Watson's in foul trouble along with Antoine Mason, who exits the game early here in this third quarter. Williamson knocks down both. And we're back to a 4-point lead for the Hurricanes. White, baseline, to Brown. Brown off the bank and in. Brown banks that one down as his shot was challenged on the rim. Outstanding play and dishing tight by Billy White, finding a cutting Brown. Turnover, Watson in transition. Watson, and it foul call on Herring Jr., and that's on the floor. So not a shot attempt there for Watson. Watson wanting that and one. None coming. You can see in the replay, Watson with a full head of steam, putting the pressure defensively on Herring Jr. That's Doug's first personal, team second of the quarter. Watson facing up Williamson. Brown drives in on Bolden, spin move, Brown, and a nice floater as he gets it up and over Mo Bolden. Outstanding individual offensive effort there by Ramel Brown. And the lead's up to 8, their largest, ties their largest of the evening. Williamson try to answer, can't get it to go. In transition, Canes have numbers. Poole drives off the bank and banking it in. With the putback is Billy White. And the lead's up to 10. Hurricanes doing all of this without their leading scorer, Antoine Mason, on the bench and not having a good game. And that shot's rejected from behind by Mike Poole, but it's been the second unit. And the rim protection by Ramel Brown and timely scoring by Brown and White in this quarter, along with Watson, that's been the difference. And Keith Vassell calls timeout.
What if there was a place where FaceTime
with 2:59 remaining. Brown,
where Facebook
12 points. He's up to 12 points now with 5 rebounds. Billy White coming on in this third quarter. He's got 11 with 6 rebounds.
And friending somebody,
they are shooting a very good percentage between the two of them, Brown and White, that is. Brown's 5 for 6 from the field. White's 5 for 7 from the field, along with a 3-pointer. 4 men in double digits for the Hurricanes. Watson leads the way with 16.
And being
Zimmerman with 12.
Was about
as I mentioned, Brown and White 12 and 11 respectively.
And we're building for the future. The YMCA of Greater Halifax, Dartmouth.
Just a reminder,
be part of the original social
that
network.
the playoffs will continue. These finals coverage will continue Thursday night for Game 3 in London when their series shifts over for 3 and 4, and if necessary, Games 5. Game 4 will go on Saturday the 12th, and if necessary, Game 5 will go on Monday night the 14th. And if we get the Game 6, we'll be back here at Scotiabank Center on Thursday the 17th. And if this thing goes the distance, it will go the following night, Friday the 18th. So Herring Jr. will inbound on the baseline out of the timeout. 10-point deficit. Boyd gets to the rim, and that's denied by Brown. In transition, and a two-handed throwdown by Billy White. So once again, Ramel Brown with outstanding rim protection, and Ramel has definitely been the difference on both ends of the floor throughout this game. Johnson, pull up. That's a tough shot forced by Theon Reefer, who's checked in for the first time. And Brown gets his 6th rebound of the evening. 12-point lead. It's the largest of the evening for the Hurricanes. Clint Scales off the screen. Clint Scales in tight to Brown. Brown throws it down. And Ramel Brown continuing to be a force. The big man from Manhattan College. He's got 14 now. Steal by White. White, showtime, two-handed flush. And the lead's to 16 now. The wheels starting to come undone. And off the rails for the Lightning now here in the third. Under 2 minutes to go, trying to weather the storm are the Lightning. Boyd, spin move, banks it in, and that breaks up that run. That 14-0 run by the Hurricanes. Desperately, they needed that basket from Boyd. But the Hurricanes have caught their stride late in this third quarter. Clint Scales' three's no good. Herring Jr. now, back the other way. Kick out to Johnson. Johnson to Friesen Laddie for three, and he gets it to go. And it's down to an 11-point lead for the Hurricanes. Poole drives, Poole, teardrop, no good. Rebound by Herring Jr. Lightning will hold for the last shot here. Herring Jr. drives, banks it home. As Doug was able to elude his defender, and that'll do it. But the Hurricanes with a 9-point lead, as you can see, Billy White and Ramel Brown with several flushes with the two hands at the end of this third quarter. But London answering late after the Hurricanes went up as much as 16 points. Their largest lead. And they get the deficit down to single digits at 9 after going on a 7-0 run to end the quarter. So 12 more minutes remaining in game number 2. Hurricanes looking to take a 2-0 lead heading into game 3. The Lightning looking to split the series and go back home to try to close it out with 3 straight games. Boyd leading the way for the Lightning with 16 points, 6 for 11 from the field with 11 rebounds. Tyrone Watson leads the way for the Hurricanes with 16 as well. He's 6 for 13 with 9 rebounds. Billy White had an outstanding third quarter along with Ramel Brown. White with 15, he's 7 of 9 from the field. Ramel Brown 14, 6 of 7 from the field. Both of those men with 6 rebounds apiece. So the Hurricanes, who have been outstanding at home here in the playoffs, 5-1, 15-6 in the regular season, trying to get win number 6 and take a commanding 2-0 lead and secure home court advantage in this 7 games series in the finals. Mason will come back for the Hurricanes to start the fourth. He's got 4 fouls, Mason does. So it's Mason, Reefer, White, Brown, and Poole for the Canes. For London, it's Williams Jr., Herring Jr., Boyd, Johnson, and Friesen Laddie. White off the window, but the putback is there by Ramel Brown, and that's rebound number 7 for Brown. And Ramel is playing outstanding right now. He is an absolute force. He's got 16. Boyd with the drive, and he's fouled by White. White's third personal, team's first. As you can see, the putback, outstanding putback by Ramel Brown. Herring Jr. now. Poole falls, and Williams Jr. banks it in after he misses the first attempt as Poole fell to the floor. And the lead's back down to 9. White, jumper, and he gets it to go. Billy White's got 17. 8 for 11 from the field now. Herring Jr. Baseline. And that shot is no good, misses everything. Rebound by White. White's got 7 rebounds now. Brown. Can't get it to go. Poole with the rebound. Back to Brown. Brown banks it in. Ramel Brown, the big man from Manhattan College, has 18. Stripped by Reefer on Friesen Laddie. Mason in transition, and he's fouled by Johnson. Good foul in transition defensively by Kyle Johnson as the Hurricanes had numbers coming back the other way. Outstanding defensive play there by Dion Reefer. You can see Johnson giving up a personal there. That's his second. Mo Bolden comes back for London, along with Williamson. Brown kicks it out to White, dribble hand off to Mason. Mason gets it tapped away from behind, but reaching in from behind through the body first is Williamson. That's Garrett's second, team's second of the quarter. It looks like Mace Watson will check in for Billy White. But Billy White gets a good round of applause from the Scotiabank faithful. Reefer banks it, can't get it to go. Johnson was able to close out. Williamson splits the defense and he banks it in. Through the contact, so Williamson will go to the line to complete the three-point play. Good drive there by Williamson. Ramel with the reach as Williamson was able to power through that reach after he split the defense in transition, and he completes the three-point play. Garrett with another outstanding game. In game number 1, he had 14 as Poole matches his bank shot on one end by Williamson. Poole banks it in on the other end. Johnson fires for 3. That's no good. Tapped out to Williamson. Second chance coming up. Williamson hesitation. Johnson to Williamson. Friesen Laddie now faces up Watson. Drives. Kicks it out to Williams Jr. He puts up the jumper, and that's no good. And Kirk struggling tonight to find his range. He's 3 for 9 from the field. 12-point lead for the Hurricanes. Poole, Brown. Brown, left hand, can't get it to go. He was bothered by Bolden, who was able to recover off the pick and roll. Bolden puts it up from way out, and that's no good. And that's probably not the shot Keith Vassell was looking for early in the shot clock by Mo Bolden. Trailing by 12. Mason gets to the rim, knocked to the floor, no foul though. Williamson races back the other way, and he tries to get to the rim. And he's denied. Hurricanes with numbers. Mason in the open floor, and he throws it down with one hand in transition. And the lead's back up to 14. Johnson now, off the double screen, the Bolden. Bolden entry pass to Williams Jr. down low. Trying to go one-on-one against Brown. Gets it off the window, but that's denied by Poole. Bolden, and he banks it in. Off the second chance opportunity. Some confusion there. It looked like Williams Jr. wanted a foul. Bolden stayed with it and was able to get the bank shot off the glass to go. Friesenlati called for his second personal as Billy White will come back and along with Clinkscales. So some quality minutes off the bench by Theon Reefer. And Brown will go to the bench as well. Poole, second chance, won't go. Williamson, Johnson kicks it to Friesenlati for three in the corner, and he drains it. And that's Friesenlati's second three ball of the evening. Joel's got 8. Lead back down to single digits. It's a 9-point lead for the Canes. Watson spinning in there, and Williamson knocks it away on that attempt with 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Boyd will come back for London, and Taquan Zimmerman, who was outstanding in the second quarter for the Hurricanes, will check in for the first time in the second half. Mason puts it up for three, and bang, he really needed that one to go down. Antoine Mason trying to come on in this fourth quarter. Williams Jr. now, left hand, that's no good. Canes have number in transition. Watson's banker can't go. The putback was almost there, the acrobatic putback by Mason as he tried to posterize Williamson. He gets his own rebound, goes right back up, and that forces the foul on Williamson. You can see the three ball there by Mason. That was a tough shot as Boyd closed all the way out. Didn't get there in time and run Mason off the line, and that's what good shooters do. They just continue to keep on shooting, even though it's been a tough night for Antoine from the field. 3 for 10. As he has 9 points thus far. He's got a 10 now. Trying to come on and make a difference here in closing out game number 2 and take a 2-0 lead in the finals. Bolden almost turns it over. Williams Jr. banks it in. So a scramble ensued off of that loose ball. Williams Jr. still able to come up with it. Bolden come up with it. Williams Jr. able to get that attempt to go. So we have a timeout on the floor. It's an 11-point game for the Hurricanes. Canes trying to close this one out. 5:44 remaining. Lots of basketball left though. Hurricanes shooting 47% from the field, 34 of 72. The Lightning 29 of 78 at 37%. London struggling from beyond the arc, 7 of 22. Excuse me, 7 of 20, that is. Hurricanes a little bit better at 7 of 17, but it's been the timely shooting of the threes that have made the difference in this one thus far. Both teams handling the basketball relatively well. Hurricanes with 10 turnovers, London with 12. So the turnover game has not been a difference, as both teams have scored off of those turnovers. Canes have 12, London has 10. Bench points, dead on even, 18 apiece. Points in the paint though, and fast break points, the Hurricanes lead in that category, 46 points to 38. 14-6 in the fast break department. Ramel Brown leads the way, leads all scorers with 18 points, 8 for 11 from the field is Ramel. He's got 7 rebounds. White's got 17 points. He's 8 of 11 as well from the field with 8 rebounds. Both of those men have been outstanding in the second half, and the difference and the reason why the Hurricanes have an 11-point lead. Ramel Brown defensively has been outstanding as well. He's displayed outstanding rim protection with multiple block shots. So Clint Scales crosses the timeline for the Hurricanes. Mason, who's starting to come on late here. Watson. And Watson steps on the baseline, and that's a turnover for the Hurricanes. That's number 11. Opportunity here to get the lead down the single digits for the Lightning. Williamson drives. He stopped. Williams Jr. now, and he banks it in. Williams Jr. with back-to-back buckets for London. Starting to turn up his offense. It's Williams Jr. has 10 now. Mason gets to the rim, then banks it home through the contact. As I mentioned, Antoine Mason will continue to attack the rim and look to be a scorer as long as he is on the floor. And he'll go to the line to attempt the three-point play, as he was able to blow by Julian Boyd, and the help coming late, but he's unable to complete the three-point play. Mason gets back in defense though and taps that one away, as Williams Jr. was able to get behind him in transition. It will remain London ball on the baseline. Williamson will inbound. Johnson with the quick trigger, can't get it to go. Bolden though with the rebound. Bolden powers up and he banks it in. So the lead back down the single digits at 9. Zimmerman. Entry pass to White. White faces up Bolden. White crossover, left hand, and he gets it to get over the rim. He forced that one over with a nice left-handed sky hook in the middle of the paint there. Johnson answers on the other end. So back and forth we go here late in the fourth. Lightning can't afford the trade baskets, trailing by 9. Zimmerman, kick out. Watson with the floater as London switched to a 3-2 matchup zone for that trip down, and they got burned on it. Bolden, and he barrels into the chest of Zimmerman, and Zimmerman sacrificing his body to pick up the charge call. Great positioning there by Zimmerman. Bolden looking for the foul. As Friesenladi will come back for London, trailing by 11. Zimmerman, Watson, and he's knocked to the floor by Williams Jr. Williams Jr. not giving up any ground there on the back down attempt by Watson. London, though, over the limit, and the Hurricanes will shoot free throws the rest of the way. Williams Jr.'s third personal, as Watson will step up to shoot 2 from the charity stripe. Watson's third trip to the free throw line. Watson with another outstanding game, 7 of 16 from the field. He's got 18 points with 9 rebounds. And he makes the first of 2. And he knocks down both. Johnson for 3, and he drains it. So London trying to answer here. And the lead's down to 10 as Johnson knocks down his first triple of the evening. Trying to get it done without the services of Ryan Anderson, who left the third with apparent lower body injury. Mason fires for 3, that's no good. Friesenladi with the rebound. Williams Jr. in transition, and he is fouled at the rim by White. Billy's 4th, team's 3rd of the quarter. As Williams Jr. will go to the line to shoot 2. And he hits the first. Kirk goes 1 for 2. Nine-point lead for the Hurricanes. Mason drives. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Clinkscales. Watson. And he is pushed by Friesenladi, and Watson will go back to the free throw line. Joel picks up his 3rd personal. Watson will shoot 2 here. Watson has been perfect from the charity stripe. And just as I mentioned that, I put the jinx on him and he misses his first of the evening. And he goes 1 for 2. Ramel Brown will check in for the Canes. Brown, who's had an outstanding ball game and has been playing at a very high level in the first 2 games of these finals. 18 points, 8-11 from the field, but Brown is called for the foul, and Bankson banking home. That one off the contact is Williamson. Brown's 4th. As Williamson will go to the line and attempt the 3-point play. And he does. Clinkscales crosses the timeline now. Closely guarded by Johnson. Johnson trying to put the pressure on Clinkscales. Clinkscales puts the shot up, can't get it to drop. Rebound by Watson, but he can't make the connection with the pass there. That was a tough pass by Watson as he was trying to save it on the end line. Mason unable to come up with the catch. Timeout on the floor. Mike Leslie wants to have a quick conversation, make some final adjustments here in this fourth. 1:33 remaining in regulation. Hurricanes up 86-93. Crowd starting to come on now, being encouraged to make some noise and be a difference down the stretch here. Hurricanes trying to get that 2-0 lead heading to London for Game 3 Thursday night at Budweiser Garden. If you're just joining us, with 1:32 remaining in regulation, the Hurricanes leading 93-86. As Johnson will inbound. Williamson gets to the rim and he is fouled. And it looks like it's going on Billy White. He is not happy about that decision called by Paul Hansen. White's fifth. Williamson will go back to the free throw line. And Gareth misses the first. Garrett was perfect from the charity stripe for that attempt. And he goes 1 for 2. He's got 19. 5-point game. Hurricanes trying to use all of this 24-second clock and trying to convert. They need a conversion here to keep the space here between them and the Lightning. Brown denied. Brown puts it back up, can't get it to go. Williamson in transition, races down the floor, and he's cut off at the rim and knocked out of bounds by Ramel Brown. So good defensive play in transition by Ramel, getting back after he missed that second chance opportunity. 59.2 seconds left remaining now. Williamson will inbound. Johnson puts it up. Johnson can't get it to go. Rebound by Brown. And Johnson fouls White. Johnson had a good look off of that inbound. Couldn't get it to drop. He picks up his fourth. Brown secured the rebound. That's Remel's 9th rebound of the evening, and White will go to the line to shoot 2. White hits the first. White 9 for 12 from the field. Billy's played outstanding in the second half along with Ramel Brown. Thus far, they have been the difference in this game number 2. White goes 2 for 2. He's got 20 now with 9 rebounds. Friesen Laddie. Williamson puts up the 3. That is short. Rebound by Boyd. His reversal's no good. Second chance no good. Mason with the rebound. Mason in no hurry to get into their offense, and that's a smart move by Antoine as Williams Jr. with the foul Hurricanes with an 8-point lead with 33.8 seconds remaining in regulation. Mason hits the first. After a very tough night from the field for Antoine Mason, he has righted the ship in the second half. Was in foul difficulty. He goes 1 for 2. Williamson, and he forces his way to the rim. And not sure what we got, and it's a foul call on Watson. Looked like Watson had great position. Let's take a look here. Watson was almost able to tie up Williamson, and Watson, as you could see on the expression on his face, not in full agreement with that decision by the crew chief, Paul Hansen. Williamson hits the first. And he makes both. So it's a 7-point lead for the Hurricanes. 24 seconds remaining in game number 2 of these finals. Hurricanes looking to go up 2-0 heading into game number 3. London trying desperately to either force OT or win this one in regulation, but they have lots of work to do in this one. The ball will advance to the front court for the Hurricanes coming out of the timeout. But the all-important inbound coming up for the Hurricanes, as London will look to force the turnover on the inbound or foul right away and continue to turn this one into a free throw shooting competition, where the Hurricanes have been pretty good this evening. 15 of 19 from the charity stripe at 79%. So some interesting and tense times coming up here at Scotiabank Center. As the public address announcer, Chris Lydon, doing his thing on the mic to get the fans pumped up here at Scotiabank Center. And a correction with time left in regulation. It's 27.8 seconds remaining. Clint Scales on the inbound. Gets it into White. White back to Clint Scales to Watson and swings at the pool to Mason, and Mason through the contact try to bank that one in. Can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line to shoot two. Outstanding inbound and ball movement displayed by the Hurricanes to eat 6 seconds off the shot clock. Off the game clock. Shot clock is dead for the remainder of regulation here. So it's 21.6 seconds remaining. And Mason struggling now, though, from the free throw line. Misses consecutive free throws. Second one, big one coming up, and he gets it to go down. So 1 for 2 for Mason. He's got 14 now. 5 for 9 from the free throw line, and 4 for 13 from the field. Timeout on the floor called by Keith Bassel. And that will advance the ball to the front court for the Lightning. 8-point game for the Hurricanes. Game number 2 here, and there's been some outstanding performances by both sides in this game number 2. Tyrone Watson once again playing at a very high level. He's got 21. Billy White's got 21 as well. Watson 7 for 16, White 9 for 12. But if you needed to point out one individual who has made the difference on both ends of the floor and the reason why the Hurricanes are up by 8 points, it's the play of Ramel Brown. Brown, the 6'7" Manhattan College product by way of Brooklyn, New York, has been outstanding on both ends of the floor. 8 for 13 from the field with 18 points and 9 rebounds. And he's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. So a very important inbound coming up for both sides as Williamson will inbound for the Lightning. Gets it in to Boyd. Boyd spins and banks it in. And a timeout on the floor called by Mike Leslie. So that was a quick strike off the inbound, drawn up by Keith Vassell. Outstanding ATO by Keith Vassell as they cut the lead to 6. So it's a 2-possession game. Boyd wasted no time getting to the rim as the matchup favored the Lightning, as Billy White had to surrender the 2 points, as Billy has 5 personals. Watson also has 5 personals, along with Brown and Mason with 4. For the Lightning, Williamson has 4, and everybody else is, and Kirk Williams Jr., excuse me, along with Kyle Johnson has 4. Relatively not in foul trouble yet, so long way to go for anybody to get to see the gate remaining in this game. So Keith Vassell going with Friesen, Laddie, Boyd, Williams Jr., Williamson, and Johnson. It's the Lightning ready to go here. Some final instructions by Mike Leslie as he uses all of the timeout to make sure that he gets the play he wants. So winning time, very important execution. It's going to come down to which team can execute. And the first order of business for execution for the Hurricanes is the all-important inbound. As Clint Scales, Watson, White, Mason, and Poole for the Canes will respond for Mike Leslie. Clint Scales will inbound. Gets it into White. White's doubled, and he's fouled by Williams Jr. And that'll be Kirk's 5th. All important free throws coming up for Billy White. White 2 for 2 from the charity stripe this evening in his second trip. And Billy able to get that one to go down off the front iron and off the backboard and in. And Billy, cool, calm, and collective, knocks down both. Ramel Brown will check in for the Canes with 17.4 remaining in regulation. Williamson now. Dribble handoff to Johnson. Johnson forces up the 3. Poole bothers him. Gets a deflection rebound by Brown, and that should do it. Outstanding defensive play there by Mike Poole. And holding it out. And we got some confusion here as there was a stoppage in play. Not over yet. Premature celebration here at Scotiabank Center, but pretty much in the books is this one, game number 2 for the Canes, leading 99-91 as Tyrone Watson will go to the free throw line for 2. Watson trying to build on the outstanding game he has played thus far, and he misses the first. 7.7 seconds remaining in game number 2, and lots of confusion going on here as Watson's waiting for his final attempt at the free throw line, and he knocks it down, and they hit the century mark. Williamson, Bolden, and that's no good, and now it's a final. The Hurricanes take a commanding 2-0 lead in the finals. They win it 100-91, all on the strength of their big three. Billy White finishing the game with 23, Watson with 22, and Ramel Brown with 18. So the Canes will go on the road for game number 3 on Thursday night in London, Ontario at the Budweiser Garden. So the final once again, 100-91. I'm Vince Williams, and for the entire Silver Vision crew saying so long from Halifax. We'll see you in game number 3 in London.